Hello, everybody. Clay here, Cardboard Empires, and today we're going to talk about the Pokemon market overall as a whole and where I think the opportunity is going to be in the near future. Coming up here with the different kinds of areas of the Pokemon market, we're going to talk about the sealed area, the raw cards, the graded cards, and the Japanese sections of the market. That's how I analyze the market and where I think I would personally focus my time and energy on, and the areas that I would stay away from. But before I get into my deep, detailed analysis, I just want to spend a minute putting some positive vibes into the universe because that's very important to me. It's a beautiful day. Enjoy your day, man. I don't care if you're watching this video 10 years from now. It's negative 20 degrees outside. It's January 5th, and there's 7 feet of snow on the ground. It's a beautiful day. Take a moment to soak it in. Just be thankful for the life that we have, the life that we're working towards, and, let the people around you know that you love them. That's most important to me. It's something that I hold sacred, and I try to live every day. So let's get into the Pokemon market. Now that you're feeling the positive vibes, you're feeling good, you're appreciating the day, let's talk about sealed product. Moving forward, I would expect, and I think we've already starting to see evidence that this is happening, that the sealed product for the Pokemon market is going to start following the cyclical pricing nature of the Magic the Gathering market. And I think that this is well-trod territory. The Magic the Gathering market, as far as speculating and investing, is pretty established. People have been looking at Magic the Gathering as investments for decades now. And so the pricing model of sealed products has fallen into a very easy to predict cycle, where product before it releases, when it's in pre-order, the price slowly ramps up until it releases, and then about a week or two after release date, the product kind of maintains that high level, and then after that, it starts to slowly dip back down, and it falls into a valley for up to 6 to 12 months after the product releases. And moving forward, I think we're starting to see the same sort of pattern in the Pokemon market. We definitely started to see that with battle styles, and I would expect to see that moving forward. Battle styles, a lot of strong pre-orders before release. It kind of held that price a week or two after release and then fell into that valley, which is where we are right now. Booster boxes have maintained their premium. They're still selling at around 160 to 164 right now. ETBs, on the other hand, are falling pretty low. They're, I think, in the 40s, maybe high 30s, something like that, but they're quite low. Nothing like we saw with Vivid Voltage, Darkness Ablaze. The hype, I think the fervor in the market is starting to die down, and people are starting to be a little bit more realistic about what they're asking and what they're buying this product for. And that's a great thing moving forward, to see a little bit of stability return to the market. But I would expect to see, over the long haul, in the next few years, battle styles to the ETBs and the booster boxes to swing back up, hold MSRP for a while, and then as it becomes increasingly out of print and collectors start to focus on it, then it might start to climb up. Supplies start to dwindle. We've seen this kind of the same thing with XY, even with Steam Siege. Kind of the most hated of XY sets. It really wasn't realistic to see Steam Siege booster boxes being sold for $80 to $100 a booster box for a set that was so old. Even in Magic the Gathering, you see sets that were kind of universally shunned by the community still holding MSRP and above because they're out of print, they're old sets, and your ability to acquire and collect those cards is very limited, and it's not going to be easy or accessible moving forward into the future. And I definitely think that's what we'll see in Pokemon. Moving on to the raw card area of the market, to me, this is the area of the market that has the best opportunity, at least for the short term. While PSA keeps its doors closed to new grading, people are going to start fire selling raw cards, and we've already started to see the prices on raw cards retract quite a bit. And I would expect that to continue to happen until PSA reopens people's ability to send cards in to be graded, and then we'll start to see the raw card price stabilize, is my opinion. That's what I would predict and I would expect to see in the future. I could be wrong. But while there's no place for people to send their cards to be graded, people who invested heavily into raw cards in order to get them graded are now stuck with this product. And a lot of these people are new to the hobby and might not have realized that they were signing up to have their capital frozen in an illiquid asset for so long. Bills come up, life comes up, vacations, people want to do stuff, people want to invest in other things, and to have a stack of Pokemon cards that was earmarked to send to PSA is not looking as sexy as it did 6 months ago. So I would expect to see a lot of highly coveted cards in reasonable condition coming on the market for cheaper than what we would have expected to see even 3 months ago. And so I think the opportunity is going to be there. You have to be discerning. You have to be on the lookout for cards that are undervalued and are priced at a good price in order for you to meet your specific margins that you want to meet. But I do think they will be there. Graded cards, on the other hand, I don't think there's going to be a lot of opportunity there. And in my opinion, there's too much risk involved. And that risk, I assess that because of all of the cards. There are so many cards at PSA right now that they had to close down effectively their business for 6 months. Okay. That should worry people. If you're in the business of buying already graded cards and selling already graded cards, it should make you nervous that there are so many cards that are about to come back onto the market that PSA had to close their business. So at least for now, I would caution against buying already graded cards. Not to say that there isn't opportunity out there in the graded card market, but for me, it's going to take too much time and energy hunting down that opportunity for undervalued cards. Then it's going to be worth, for me personally, it might be worth it for you to hunt down the card that's somebody's selling for $1,500, and this should be a $2,000 card. So I'm going to buy it here and then sell it there. That's plausible for you, but that's not something that I really engage in. It's the riskiest part of the market for me right now. Japanese moving forward, and I have sold a lot of Japanese in the past. I love the Japanese side of the Pokemon market. And so I kind of have a biased opinion. I sell a lot of Japanese. I still do. I just got a whole shipment of Silverlance in that I'm really excited to start selling. I love the Japanese side of the market as far as collectors go. Obviously, we don't get a whole lot of Japanese players in America, Pokemon card players buying Japanese product in America. These are specifically for collecting and investing when it comes to being here in America. And that's part of the reason why I like it. Because, when you're dealing with English cards, you're kind of in this kind of eternal tug and pull with collectors and players and retailers. Players want the cards very cheap. Collectors want the cards very high. Investors and retailers want the cards to be very high. So everybody's kind of pushing and pulling and tugging against each other. When it comes to Japanese cards, it's just investors, it's just collectors, and everybody wants the price to be high. Maybe not as high as, everybody else. So like me, I want to sell the boxes for $1,000 a piece, but the collector wants to buy it for $100 a piece. And then the price will go to $1,000 a piece. But everybody wants the price on Japanese boxes to continue to go up because we're all collectors, we're all investors, we're all retailers. Which is why for me, I'm going to continue selling Japanese cards. I would encourage, if you're interested in it, maybe take a look into it. It's not as easy to get into as selling English cards, obviously. It's expensive to get the cards from Japan over here. There's a lot of trouble getting the card. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've imported a box or a big order from Japan, and they have come mangled to no, just beyond recognition. Boxes look like they were drugged behind the plane all the way from Japan here. And there's not a lot of recourse. To return it, you have to pay the shipping. You have to go through the whole rigmarole with the seller who doesn't speak English. So, it's very easy to incur hidden costs when selling Japanese cards. As far as being in the market, if you're interested in it, I would suggest that you have to put your time in, pay your dues. Time in the market really helps when it comes to selling Japanese cards. You have to establish relationships, build a network of people that sell Japanese Pokemon cards in Japan who are willing to, cut you some deals or send you a ton of cases at once. That's really the best way to do it with Japanese cards. And there is no blueprint to quickly, easily, cheaply getting Japanese cards into America. Um, but take a look if you're interested. I would recommend it. It's a very fun part of the hobby that not a lot of people know about. So these are kind of my thoughts on the market right now and where I think I see the market going. Again, these are all opinions. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. Just to sum up, sealed. I think we're going to start seeing the cyclical pricing nature like Magic the Gathering. We're going to see um, a ramp up in price to release. It's going to hold that price a little bit after release, and then we're going to see the valley effect where it's going to dip and then it's going to climb back out. Raw, I see the best opportunities right now in Raw, just because there's nowhere to put them. We just went through like this big cycle in Pokemon cards where everybody was an investor, everybody was a seller. So I'm selling cards to a seller who's going to sell cards to a seller, and that's just not sustainable. The cards have to find their way into collectors and players' hands eventually. So when we're in this big like loop of sellers selling to sellers, selling to sellers, somebody eventually gets left holding the bag. You can only jack up the price so many times before nobody's buying it. And a lot of these raw cards that were being cycled in this washing machine loop were somebody was eventually planning to sell these off or send them off to get graded and then dump them back on the market. And now that that's not an option anymore, they got to get rid of them. They can't have this money tied up. So I see that as the best opportunity. Graded is the riskiest play right now. There's always going to be opportunity no matter what. In any market, there's always opportunity, but there's a lot of risk right now, at least for me, in the graded card market. And Japanese, I love Japanese. I'll probably always love Japanese, and I'm going to continue to sell in the Japanese market. The margins aren't crazy awesome. You're not going to make $1,000 easily overnight off of one box, but if you spend your time and you do your research and the longer you're in the Japanese market, the more you know what you're looking at, you know what you're looking for, you know who you're talking to, the better you're going to come out in the end. These are my opinions on the market right now. Let me know how you feel in the comments down below. Remember, today's a beautiful day. Just take that in and enjoy it, man. And thanks for watching the video. Thank you to Mason for all the stuff that he's done for my channel, all the new subscribers. That's incredible, man. I can't really thank you guys enough. It's really incredible to even think about. So as always, I'll catch you later.